What's up, guys? Today we are playing Udyr versus Nasus. I've already recorded this game, and it is a doozy, let me just say that. So before the game started, I asked Nocturne to gank level 2 if he could. He said he'd be low, but he would be happy to. So that was one hit on Nasus. That was two. Just that tiger burns through people early on because it does that damage over time. And, you know, him hitting minions actually heals him up. So I was pleasantly surprised. So go ahead, I hit him knowing that he's coming. So just watch this. I slowed it down for you. He flashes. Now just watch. He had red, but he Qs him so his health goes back up. I follow him with Tiger. Nasus gets first blood. That was just a great gank opportunity. I'm not sure what I could have done better. Probably just letting it go would have been the best bet at that point. But, you know, we had committed, and with two of us there, I felt like after he had flashed, me following up a flash was just the best thing to have done. But, yeah, so that set the pace for the rest of this game, and it was just a crazy back and forth game. I'm going to let you know right now that the last minute of the game I actually lost. I've got the end of game screen, so you know you don't have to trust my word for who won or like the last details, anything like that. But just want to let you know this game is like, I think the footage that I've got is an hour and 6 minutes long, and the game ended at like an hour and 7 minutes. So I saw the blue over here. Jax came to contest, so I just went ahead and backed off. Nasus is pushing super slowly in lane. I know that Jax is over there. I do have vision briefly of him. But, I don't want to get ganked by a Jax. I've got decent ward coverage. So I just try to get some CS at this point. And here in a second, I do see Jax making his way in, and I'm actually pretty proud of the way that this went, because it could have easily gone very poorly for me. Okay, and I was pretty proud of this right here. So, Nasus throws a slow on me, Jax comes in with the stun, I realize, oh shit, I am in trouble. So, I throw the stun on Jax, I throw the stun on Nasus, and I actually make it out. I was pretty excited about that, but I go ahead and back here. And so this, like I said, has set the pace for the entire game. I have been out of lane the majority of the time at this point, so that's no good, especially against a Nasus. That is just letting him free farm. He's not doing as well as, a professional would or anything like that, but still, relative to everyone else's skill in this game, he is farming up pretty decently. He did get that first kill, and now he's put me out of lane a little bit longer, and he's been able to go back, let my wave push back into his, so he's a little bit safer. So right here, I realized that my wave was there, his was pretty well gone, so I engaged, but I should have backed off and just let that been a good trade. He puts the slow on me here when I get close to his minions, and he actually gets some pretty good damage off. And Nasus has got that life steal, so with his Q, especially when he's focus farming, he can really heal up quickly. So realizing that I really couldn't do anything with the wave pushing his way, I just, I think I actually, here in a second, go roam. But right now, I think I'm just trying to figure out what to do, He's already healed back up like 2/3 of his health. I'm just realizing that I don't have the sustain to deal with that at this moment, that he's pretty much dominating this lane. So I see that pink there, and I figure, I'm not getting any gold in lane. I'll try to get that, which is pretty pathetic, but he keeps trying to zone me from it. And with that slow, I just can't afford to trade with him, so I'd finally get it. At this point, finally, the wave is pushing back my way, so I'm going to get to farm up a little bit. I would say thankfully, but, this wave is pushing toward my turret, so I wasn't super thankful for it, but at least at the time. We get a gank here in a second from Cho'Gath, and Nocturne goes in here, and just the damage Nasus is putting off is showing me that I could not 1v1 him at this point. Any hope, especially with his ult. And we do end up picking it up, thankfully, with all three of us. As much as Nasus has gotten to farm in this lane, I am in trouble at this point of the game, but that was great redemption for us. So right here, you're just going to see me make the most of farming while he's out of lane, and then as soon as I realize that he's back, I don't really want to stick around, especially mid lane, give them an opportunity to gank again, so I go ahead and head on back. And as soon as I do head back, I start thinking, okay, I'm not doing so great this lane. I'm not doing horribly. You've gotten, I think I'm 1-1 at this point, but I need to start focusing on other lanes, seeing if I can get them some help. Nasus is already past the point that I can really contest him farming. I could throw some slows on there and or some stuns and make sure that, he takes some damage whenever he tries to take some CS, but he can really out-heal what I've got. They go ahead and gank. If they had waited for me and let that lane push a little bit more, that could have been a turning point in this game and really helped us get ahead. But I just go ahead and follow them. No point in sticking around in that lane if I can make more of my time in a different lane. In my mind, I know what I'm capable of if I get Udyr fed, so I'm thinking, if my time's not going to be spent well up top, I'll roam. Right here, this really just falls into our laps. I was able to pick up this kill. Unfortunately, Thresh took that one. I'm not sure why he did that, but Kalista was able to get this one on Corki, and after that, we just go straight to drag. We're able to pick that up, so this is a pretty good moment for us. Might not be winning top, and Nasus might be getting a good bit of CS, but at least the rest of us are, pulling together, and I can tell that we've got the potential to work as a team. So I saw when we were taking drag that Nasus had gotten top. That's actually a good thing for me. Now the lane is pushing into a safer zone. If he wants to farm like he has been, he's going to have to come, closer to our side of the map, which is going to give us more gank opportunities on him. So even though, he's been a pain in the butt up to this point, that could be a good thing for me, even though it doesn't seem like it is. I start taking Phoenix here for a little bit faster wave clear, and I just want to make sure that he's not going to be popping out any of these bushes and surprising me. So I just keep pushing lane back up his way. I've got pretty quick wave clear. There's no point in wasting time. I guess I could have frozen the lane and made him come to me. It might not have been a good idea. I grabbed Krugs just for a little bit extra gold. So right here, he runs up to me. I got my full wave. I go ahead and take that as an opportunity to get some damage done to him. He's got that slow, which is super annoying. But, with the wave, we went pretty evenly. So it just shows me that I still can't 1v1 him. He did not pop his ultimate, and if he had, there's no way I would have been able to. So I just go ahead and back and start looking where else on the map while he's pushing that I can make some kind of impact. I see that they've got this going on bot, so I rush down there to see if I can be of any use. Kalista unfortunately gets killed. I think Jax teleported, not Jax, but Nasus teleported it in. You can see him in the bush right there. Jax did get away. I'm just trying to keep this wave off the turret and, farm up, push this in. I know that everyone that was just there backed. So I figured this could be a good opportunity to go ahead and get some damage done to this turret. As soon as Corki shows back up here, I run back and I try to fake him out. I run right out of his of what he can see, run into the fog of war, and then into this bush. He doesn't know I'm here at this point. And then Kalista just briefly steps into the bush, so there's no point in sticking around. I see that Cho'Gath got top. but Nasus has done some damage. So move on mid and just try to keep the lanes pushed. Ahri's poking me down, but I don't really plan on sticking around for long, just pushing that basically one wave off the turret and then backing. So I think I've said it in other videos, but when you're playing Udyr, you really just have to be moving the entire time. I basically ran from bot lane to mid, I backed and got my Sunfire Cape, then I see that I've got an opportunity to get some gold down here. I pushed the wave a little bit out. Good job, Kalista, picking up that kill on Morgana. And so this is really the point where I realize that I do not need to be anywhere near Nasus. He ults me, or he ults, and then, I basically had no chance of getting away. It's really the first time that I realized that Nasus isn't just an inconvenience. He could potentially carry the game. He just 1v1'd me, which was unfortunate. Cho's getting pretty big. And I know at this point the teams are going pretty evenly. So it really is just hanging on by a thread. I have to take full accountability for where Nasus is at. I let him farm. I let him have that time in lane alone, just soaking the experience. No real reason to have stuck around in my mind, just because there's nothing I could have done once he got that far ahead. So we're able to get the turret right here, and we just really put pressure in other lanes. Nasus can't be everywhere at once, and that was really my mindset going into this. Is if they've got a split pushing laner that's fed, we just need to be doing work around the map faster than him and then getting back to contest. I keep working on my Trinity Force. I see that Nasus' bot. We're going to try to gank him here, but unfortunately Kalista, she gets caught out, or just too much damage is done too quickly. I do end up picking up the kill, which is great. And just going to try to push this advantage with Nasus down and him really being the one that's fed on their team. I do think Corki's got some kills. I'm not sure if he does at this point. I know he does later on. We end up picking up the turret and just moving on. Thankfully get blue. That's going to help a lot with me being able to spam my abilities. As soon as he shows back up, I am out of lane, though. I just don't even want to be around him after that last trade we had where he 1v1'd me. In this entire game, I felt like the theme of it was just backing for me. I just keep working on that Trinity Force. It's a pretty nice power spike when I do finally get it in any game. And just continue looking for work to do around the map. Mid's a good opportunity. Nasus is still top, so I don't want to go there. Get this one wave, and then everyone else shows up. So we just keep pushing a little bit more. Nasus is getting some distance, and we took his turret, so now we've got more opportunities to take him. He ends up getting away here, and I guess he ran to the bushes, one of those 3 bushes in the middle of the top lane to back. So we didn't get that, but just keep running. We've got great mobility with Udyr, and that's really what makes him a great champion. He's got a nice kit, he's got some quick stuns and everything, but he can get from one side of the map to the other in less than 20 seconds. Especially late game. I say that. I don't know if that's completely factual. He's just really, really quick. And I've got the video sped up to 1.75 times normal speed. Right here, I've realized that they split themselves. We dance around here for a minute. No one wants to really initiate with Nasus first. And then Thresh lands a great hook right here on Jax, which is a good initiation. He gets a good ult down, splitting their entire team. That gives me an opportunity to CC Nasus through his ult off of Kalista. We're able to do some good damage, and then I flash out right here. They had a good wombo with Kalista's ult, and that enabled us to pick up the dragon. That was great for us. We aced them, for basically just losing Thresh. And so that really put us right where we needed to be to win this game. Now, it draws on. I think we're maybe a third of the way through the game. It is a long game, I'm telling you guys. So I hope it's worth it. It was a lot of fun to play. I mean, there was no telling who was going to win in my mind. There were several times where we were a man down, they were a man down, and it just seemed like there was no end in sight. Even after an hour, I just had no idea how it was going to end. Good thing for us at this point was able to pick up Trinity Force, and I'm just wondering, what do I really need to be able to carry this game? I know I want some attack speed. I don't really know. I think I end up going for Bork, just to be able to contest Nasus and hopefully 1v1 him, since he is just doing so much damage. We group here around Baron. At this point, we're down our support. They're also down Jack. So we think maybe it's a good idea to go in. Nasus with the spell shield, though, was just completely terrifying. Blows through me. They've got great CC with Morgana. Cho tries to land his knockup, but ends up just taking too long and gets caught anyway. I don't think Nocturne was with us in that fight. So if he was, he had already gotten out, but then he goes back in here. And it's just a matter of 3 Qs. I don't even know if he gets his 3rd Q off, but there it is. He went back in, and so that just left Kalista up. I think Thresh is back up at this point, but just not a good fight for us. So I come back up here in a second. I go top. I see that they're pushing bot pretty hard. I don't think I'm going to be able to get there in time to do anything about it, so I go get this farm. We've got people there that can hopefully contest. I think Nocturne comes up here in a second and he goes over there. But what I want to do is what I do best, and that's just split push. Good job Nocturne picking up that kill on Jax. I see that they're not there anymore. I need to be careful. But I just keep pushing as hard as I can, as fast as I can. That is really the best utility I offer this team. I see that Corki's coming. Unfortunately, I just get the charm dropped on me, and I couldn't get out in time. So I had a good push, but unfortunately couldn't get out. And that's one thing that with a split pusher, you've got to have a team that knows how to put pressure somewhere else. Nasus can do a lot of damage if he's left in a lane alone. I don't think he split pushes quite as fast as I do. Phoenix Stance is just a great utility for Udyr, and then coupled with Tiger Stance, he can blow through a lane, he can blow through turrets, and then Trinity Force just compounds that. So they're getting into a fight here. And at this point in the game, I don't know if it's the right thing to have done. I probably should have run over there to them. They were already falling back. I go bot, and you can just see how fast I blow through all of this. I feel like, grouping with the team could have been a good call. They end up getting out pretty safely, and I end up taking the turret. So as soon as I realize that Nasus has got some advantage over me, I go ahead and flash out and run on. There's Dragon. I ping that. I know Nasus is in the area. I don't want to be caught out. Take Grump. And there's just really nothing we can do at that point. Go ahead and pick up blue as well. A little bit ballsy, I know they're still around, so maybe it would have been better to back under turret or something like that. After I back, I see, mid is pushing more than really anything, so I run, try to get that. They were able to get Baron, which is unfortunate. That's the cost of, me split pushing. So maybe it would have been a good idea for me to group after all, even though it seemed like I got some benefit out of that turret. Unfortunately, they, were able to maximize that time a little bit better than I was. Grouping is always a good idea, though, especially at this point of the game where, one team fight can really put the entire game in someone's favor. We had a good opportunity to pick up a kill there. They did get Cho, so it was ends up being a poor engage for us. I go ahead and back and just reset, make sure my health is high, and I go ahead and pick up some more items, get my full Bork. Look at that slow. It's just nasty. So I can't take Nasus, but Ari, I don't know what she was thinking. She's not nearly that fed. So here in a second we're going to have another engage. I don't see anyone else. I think maybe it's a good time to initiate, but the spell shield is dropped on the fed Nasus again. I get CC'd out of the fight. Nasus just completely blows down Nocturne. As soon as I step in, I get obliterated. And then Kalista just does a great job. 2v1 here. Corki is fed, goes balls deep, but underestimates Kalista. She picks up the triple kill. Great job, Kalista. And then she and Cho are able to just continue pushing lane. One thing I need to be better about is, here I'm buying and all that, but when I'm dead, making sure that I keep the action in the screen for you guys. Kalista and Cho continue pushing lane. Jax shows up. Thankfully, Kalista is able to get the kill back on him after he kills her. But we've left the base just completely undefended, and they're doing some good damage to the Nexus turrets. I know that Nasus has got teleport, so at any point he could telly in and just do some extreme damage to base, which, being fed, I just don't even want to see what that would look like. So we continue to push the the lane with our down inhibitor, and then just continue looking for something to do. You gotta keep moving. Nasus is top, so I hang out a second. We're able to group up on him, and I feel like he did great early game, mid game. He's definitely carrying, but that's one thing about a split pusher. You've got to be able to get out quick, and then Nasus, he can't just get out. He's got to face the fight. Me, if I see that I'm about to get ganked, I can, run back toward base, stun someone, make a hole. Nasus's hole is going to be through someone. So we just keep looking to do damage. I see Nocturne's over here doing some damage on Dragon. Go around, smack it a few times. See that Top's pushing, go around, smack it a few times. And, just keep my eyes on the map. I know that they're kind of grouping toward mid. Nocturne's, we're getting kind of balls deep in their jungle. And here, they're picking a bad engage. So I figure, all right, well, this is pretty low. Might as well just go ahead and here smack it a few times. you know, the one thing that sucks for split pushers is without a minion and one of your minions around, I think turrets take less damage. So I'm not able to get the turret. They ended up having a good exchange. I think it was a 2 for 2, 3 for 2. So good job them. Watching back, I'm realizing that if I had grouped more, we probably could have done better. I know that I had peeled Morgana out of the team for that fight just because she came to contest that turret. I don't know what it would have looked like if I had stuck around. There's just really no telling. You got to do what feels right in the moment. Seeing that they hadn't engaged yet, I was right there. I could have run back pretty quick with my mobility and got into the fight. I just felt like taking that mid turret was the best opportunity. Just gonna keep running around. You guys can see how fast I'm getting around the map, and of course this is sped up, but just the movement is crazy. Going, running one place, able to pick up the kill here, flash, stun, there's a double kill. And that lets us take Baron. So this will be our first Baron of the game. They've already gotten one Baron. Just a very, very even fight. Nasus, I don't think we quite get him. He's able to flash away at the last moment. Run over here, and I think I picked this. Nope, check that out. So just unfortunately, even being that low with my stun, I was not able to kill him, which was a devastating realization that I still could not 1v1 him even with Bork and Trinity Force and Sunfire. Everything, basically everything I have is built to kill Nasus, and I still couldn't. So I'm just really, you can see me looking at GA. I've got to figure what I need to be able to sustain through that, because he's a split pusher, I'm a split pusher. Our team is doing pretty well in fights. So I haven't tried the new item out yet, and I'm just, checking out, realizing that it could be a good opportunity. I am doing a lot of damage, and especially if I get on a squishy target, it could be a good opportunity to smack them, 3-4 times, and then just, peace out. Let the item do the rest. So Nasus is out again. He picks up the kill. I pick up a kill. I actually do pretty well mid and late game, even though I feel like maybe I should have grouped in one of these fights. I just, I take the opportunity, let them push. I take Dragon. Like I said, there's no telling what you should have done. It's much easier to see in hindsight. But we just keep moving. So I go farm a little bit. At this point of the game, there's not many other places to go. We've got decent ward coverage of their jungle, but just without the team there, I can't really push turrets or anything safely. One charm, one snare from Morgana, a slow from Nasus, and my mobility means nothing. They can really chain that CC together, and that's what made this game really hard for me. In normal games, like if it were just Corki, or people similar to Corki that don't really have a lot of CC to chain together, that just takes me out of fights, I can jump in a team and really just do some damage. I'm getting pretty tanky here too, but I just know that I can split push like a mother. Here's Nasus. I go ahead and back off, take the red. Just always looking for something to take, especially if I've got to go to the other side of the map. I want to take, at least 2 things on my way there if I can. Just anything in my path, I want to make it mine. So they're here. As close as fights have been, I don't want to try that. They had a great push here and got the turret. I go ahead and just try to cut this off and make the most of my split pushing ability. Cho'Gath, each time I split here, I know there have been a couple times he comes to try to help, but really that just pulls pressure to where I am. If he, was another just, quote unquote, warm body, See, there's that that new item at work. Smacked him around a few times, and then, you know, just that thing went off and killed him. Basically what I was saying is the pressure that Cho'Gath was putting on mid would have helped me in that, you know, more people would have had to be there. I could probably take the turret on my own if it was just one of them. You know, Morgana or Ahri, they've got their kind of one and done stuns, or CC. Just by moving, you guys can see we're keeping them responding to us, and that's what's working super well at this point. And that's kind of what I pride myself on being able to do. The new item, I don't even remember the name of it, sorry guys. It gives 5% movement speed, which is great for me. You know, movement speed, and just that makes my utility so much stronger. Pushing with Baron here, that is one time I think it's the best opportunity or option to split push is when you've got Baron, because you know you're able to let those minions help you out so much more. So Ahri forgot her place, stepped out a little bit far, but I also did not respect them. So thankfully I'm able to get out. That movement speed's paying off, but I'm not going to be of much use in fights. So I go ahead, I'm able to pick up this dragon here. I know that Nasus is nearby and that I need to be careful. I choose to stay around. I know that he'll probably show up, and there he is. But that is, I believe, our 5th dragon. So it leaves them, they have already done some good work and taken out a couple of them. But, you know, at this point we do need to group, and we need to make sure that Nasus isn't able to push in on us. They already took one base turret. Good job, Cho'Gath, picking up that kill. And you guys will see, I really feel like this is the theme of the entire game. Mid and late, at least. I know I was saying backing was the theme of the game, but, you know, someone's down and the team tries to push. That person comes up, they put us down, and then that team tries to push. It's just back and forth. No one ever really gets anything done. You can see we're able to get that inhibitor, thankfully, but even throughout the game, it's just been super hard to make something happen because, you know, you've got 4 people up, but one person's running to catch up with everyone else. So I feel like maybe there's an opportunity to do something better. I keep slip pushing, trying to think of what there is to do. That inhibitor's down. We really can't get on their base. We've got everyone up. So I'm just going to try to push this in. I know I probably am not going to be able to get it. I don't want to get CC'd. So here we group a little bit, but there's only 3 of us up in this area. So I just keep this pushed. And here's Kalista. I know that she's had some good fights, so I figure, okay, the spell shield just came down. Man, those spell shields just so quick. And unfortunately, we're 1 for 2 at this point. We're able to get out, and that's just really how it keeps going. You know, we never have a full ace. Something that just makes it clear that, you know, it's never just a clear win. Nasus extends too far here. I'm able to pick up the kill there. So maybe the moral lesson from this game, if you will, is, you know, wait to group with your team. Don't just keep doing work thinking that there's only one other guy up. You know, Baron is up at this point. I know that we've got an inhibitor down, so I pick up the scuttle, and here everyone's coming. But Corki's there, so just want to make sure that it's safe before we take this Baron. I pick up the blue, And I'm not really sure why Cho just stays super deep here. You know, they're low, so there's no point really in staying around. You know, our advantage of being 5v5 kind of went away as soon as they got low. Thankfully, Cho doesn't die right there. But I try to sneak in, get some damage off there. Thought I was being sneaky. Couldn't quite get anything or make anything of that. But here they're starting to group around dragons, pick it up. So we just keep looking for work. Nasus gets himself in a pickle here. You know, is caught out again. And I really think that, you know, if he would stop pushing so hard, I know he's super fed, but he can't take on the entire team, and their team maybe just isn't doing the work that he needs to be able to split push properly. You know, if they were bot and let him go top, it probably would have won the game for him, because we couldn't have contested that. I know I can't 1v1 him, and I think I'm pretty much the strongest on the team. You know, Nocturne does a good job, Kalista does a good job, but I don't know that they can 1v1 him at this point. We've got a good push on the base here. But unfortunately, Jack picks up his, a triple kill. I go ahead and back off. Here, Nasus teleported to the base, and it's really all I can do just to keep him from taking both turrets. So you can really see the wave clear here, and I'm thankful for it at that point. You know, I'm always thankful for my wave clear, but this is a really scary thing. Everyone's down, it's just me. I was able to get one kill and barely get out with my life, but I believe that was both of our Nexus turrets. So this is terrifying. You know, if they get a ward down, Nasus could just go in and completely ignore us and take it on his own. It was really kind of a painful game. You know, it was a lot of fun to play. Just the adrenaline was pumping like crazy. We just can't get everyone in here at once. You know, I could tank that, and we could probably blow through it with Nasus and Jax and Ahri down. There we go, push, push, push. But we couldn't quite get it. Super frustrating. And at this point, you know, they've got their super minions. He steps out of line, able to pick up that kill on him. It's just exhausting. I think that's the thing. At this point of the game, you don't prepare yourself for this. You know, you think one team's probably going to get fed, the other one's just going to not do as well. You know, I feel like it went pretty even. Either they had a couple great players on their team, and I feel like we've got some pretty good players. There, Nasus goes, stepping out of line again. So, you know, I think he's really the reason we end up coming out on top. If he had stayed with his team grouped like they had early on, been that front line with that spell shield, or just split pushed in his team, you know, split push the opposite side of the map, they could have really gotten some work done. But instead, he split pushed, they didn't, and that let us pick up the kill on him and then run, do some work while he was down. So right here, the game, I think, cuts off the last minute. With Nasus down, he just kept doing his thing. I make it out here. We pick up the, I think, Dragon? Yeah, and Nocturne kills Jax. Great news for us. There Nasus goes, gets, caught out again. Yeah, just completely his fault. The last minute of the game is cut off here, but Morgana gets caught out here in a second. That's the thing, guys. At this point of the game, you just cannot get caught out. You can't overextend. You have to group, and that's really what let us win. So here's that end of the game screen for you. Sorry I didn't get the end of the game recorded. I did the whole thing where I forgot to stop recording before I click continue. But here's the end of the game screen, and you guys can just check everything out. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please feel free to comment. There were lots of mistakes made. I know that I could have stopped Nasus from getting so fed early on. But yeah, feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.